This is Visiblepreneur, the podcast for entrepreneurs and brands the entrepreneur, from local to worldwide, and how they became the better person they are today. And here's your host, the Isaiah Bentley. All right, what's going on, everyone? Visiblepreneur here, as you know, back with another nice one as always. So today, I've got this lovely lady. Her name is Angela Meyer. She has a company that, specializes in help you out with your health, wellness, as well as keeping you fit. I probably ain't got any guns to show, but oh well, that's okay.
Are you sure?
Let's see.
You got it. It's right there.
Yeah, there it is.
It's there.
So we're going to have a lot of fun with this. This is going to be fantastic. But before we dive into this, let's give a quick thank you to our two sponsors. First one is going to be Scott Nienberg with Fusion Media Marketing. He does web hosting, video animation, helps create your website, helps create logos for it. So I will have that in the description for you below, and his website will be, it should be fusionmediamarketing.com, if I got that right. Either way, it'll definitely be in the description. And for our second sponsor, the Sound Frequency, providing audio-visual services for events. Specializes in bringing out microphones, speakers, lighting, projectors to your next wedding, banquets, whatever function you like to have, both can help you out. And that website is thesoundfrequency.com. So without any further ado, Angela, thanks for coming on Visiblepreneur.
Yeah, it's fun. Great. Thanks for having me.
So tell us more about, how did you get your company started and what was your passion behind doing this?
Well, when I used to dance professionally, and when that career ended, it just made a lot of sense for me. I took pre-med in college and loved all of the information, but was not made to guts and gore and bodily fluids and all that fun stuff. That would have grossed me out too much or made me faint or puke. I don't know which, but yeah, so the next natural thing to get into, I felt, was personal training. So I did that for a number of years and I enjoyed it. But it wasn't completely fulfilling for me on some different levels. And so I kind of just let life lay low for a while. But when I became a mom, I had some significant health issues in our family. And the nutrition industry just basically fell into my lap, and it fulfilled all of my desires to help people, my love of health and nutrition and anatomy and kinesiology and all of that cool stuff all wrapped up into one. And so I enjoy helping people get well now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you say you went to pre-med school. Were you kind of on the journey to becoming a nurse or RN?
No, it was really interesting. So I was a professional dancer. And so when I went to school, I got my degree in dance, performance, and choreography. But
Which dance style were you doing?
Ballet and modern. And because of us needing to use our bodies, the degree required us to take all of the classes that the pre-med students were taking. So we took anatomy and kinesiology and physiology of exercise and nutrition. And so, that was part of our degree.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I liked it.
Yeah, so you were bad back in the day, nicely put. So like you were able to do like all kind of splits.
Yeah, I wasn't a gymnast per se, but yeah, much more limber than I am now.
Okay.
So,
can you still do a split to this day?
No, I cannot. No, my dance career ended when I was 26 years old with a severe back injury. So I'm a little bit more limited these days than I used to be. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And also too, going to that, how have you been able to help people, change their lifestyles? Because, as you know, when you change your lifestyle, you change literally your body, your eating habits. What have you seen throughout the time that you've been doing this?
Yeah, so basically I learned by mistake. So when I was dancing, I made a lot of mistakes with my nutrition and my lifestyle. And I think, and looking hindsight, that really was the foundational problem to why I ended up injured at a very young age and losing my career. So I have a big heart for young athletes, because they really, you have this feeling that, it doesn't really matter what you eat when you're young and all of those problems will be later in life, but actually it affects you quite significantly. And so, I love to teach young athletes why it's important for them, because what they put in their mouth is what they're using to fuel their bodies. When I got into training, though, that diet was the hardest and most pushback I got as a trainer. I could make people work out. I could get them to do lots of exercises. I could help them with their energy. I could even recommend different lifestyle issues that they were doing that affected their ability to work out and some of the components of reaching their goals. But when we got into what they were eating and drinking, that was almost like pushing buttons into, almost like a religion, right? People get very, very self-conscious. There's a lot of emotional baggage attached to what we eat and drink. And I didn't have an easy tool, because even way back when I was taking all of those classes, we already knew vitamin supplements didn't work. I mean, I was already taught that in my nutrition classes way back in the early 90s. So that is not new information. So as I became a trainer, again, in my certification, learning that supplements were not the answer. So I did not provide any supplements to my clients, because we knew that we already know that they don't work, vitamin, mineral pills and such. So I was trying to get them to change their lifestyle in their eating and drinking. And that was a very hard thing to do. So having tools and stuff now makes it a lot easier. So I love having simple tools for people to fill in the gaps of what they eat and don't eat. And the other lifestyle components are very basic. I keep my message super, super simple, because having a healthy lifestyle is not rocket science. It's very basic foundational truth that most people probably already know. So
yeah, absolutely. Because one of the other folks that I've had on here a while back, it's like was saying that your body gives you signals of, hey, this is what's wrong with me, and how can you fix that? And most of them don't know that. Listen, change your eating habits, change your health and lifestyle.
yeah, I think one of the biggest, when I got into the nutrition industry, one of the biggest lessons I learned right off the bat was food is fuel. So you love cars, right?
Yeah.
So if I had a Lamborghini that you got to give you and said, go gas it up, what kind of gas would you have to put in that Lamborghini?
Typically the premium kind.
Yeah.
Typically.
So would you ever, knowing how expensive that car was, would you ever go to the gas station and throw diesel in it?
Me personally, no.
No, or even just the basic gas?
Yeah, I would say no.
What would happen to that Lamborghini if you constantly gave it lesser quality fuel?
What was it? I would say it would typically start to slowly degrade a little bit. I know it can run on like regular fuel, but however, on diesel fuel, because on that point right there, diesel gas doesn't burn as quick, so it has to be more compressed or something like that, which is kind of like the basics of a diesel engine. So it has to be more compressed in order for that to ignite, to force that cylinder back down. And trying to put diesel in a regular car, you can actually slowly but surely mess it up. Mm-hmm. Now, the opposite way, you put gasoline in a diesel engine, you're going to mess it up pretty quickly.
Yeah. And what if you never got oil changes on that Lamborghini? What's going to happen?
Oh, it's going to die.
Yeah.
It'll just seize up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my biggest lesson was food is fuel. So we have lots of choices. We're not like a car where you have to put a certain brand or a certain type of oil or gas in the car. We get lots of choices. We'll still live, but we're going to break down. So if you put poor fuel in your body, then you're going to get poor results out of your body physically, whether it's actively like an athlete worried about, how they're functioning and performing, or just a regular person. I mean, prevention is key. And so if you constantly put poor fuel in your body over time, systems and organs and illness, it's all going to break down, and you're going to have problems. So that was my biggest lesson right at first, is food is fuel. So if you put crap in, I think it was Oprah Winfrey, she said one day in one of her TV shows, crap in brings you crap out. And so, so what you eat, and the other cool thing is our bodies are worth way more than even a Lamborghini,
right,
financially speaking.
Yeah.
And we can't change our tires on our body, or, there's a lot of body parts that you can't get new. So, this has to live for average of 70 to 80 years, right? So let's take care of it. And then, where was I going with that? Just the point that, you're not going to have an immediate reaction to poor choices, but as they go over time, then your body will fall apart. And if we do fuel our bodies well, it works well. So your immune system works, your cardiovascular system works, and even all of the things going on in our world, all the toxins and environmental stuff that's causing illness, if we fuel our bodies correctly, then our bodies actually have over 75% opportunity to stay well in spite of what's going on with everything else around us.
Right.
So yeah, food is a big, big deal.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And going to where like the bodies can also, you feed it well, it'll stay well. So would you say that our bodies have natural capabilities of healing itself? Like, for example, for someone who's got high blood pressure, or someone who's got diabetes, yes, they're still taking the insulin and all, but would you say that there's ways that, with still putting the right stuff in there, that it could potentially cure itself to where you may not even need that anymore?
Yeah, that was the other big lesson I learned. I mean, even something as simple as allergies, we do not have to have them. They're not part of our natural physiology. It is a reflection of our diet. So yeah, there's, like I said, over 75% of all illnesses and disorders are completely preventable and reversible with good nutrition, because our bodies have an inert capability of healing itself, and all of the systems in our body, that's their job, is to constantly, every single day, be working towards keeping our bodies in a healthy state. So if we help it, then most definitely. And there's so many different ways you can do that. But really, what you put in your mouth is the building blocks to your every cell and every organ and every system of your body. So yeah, totally. Your body's designed to do that, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. Our body is a complex tool. I really got to say that. So I want to ask you too, is that, what is the name of your company, as well as what's been your experience, like, interacting with clients, networking, things of that nature?
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So my company's name is AIM for Health, and that's an acronym AIM. I'm affiliated with a product that I have found that has the only one I found with real clinical product specific research. But I use all of my past certifications and my current certifications in nutrition to help people aim towards their goal. And so the acronym is Aspire, Inspire, and Motivate. So I'm a firm believer that if we are moving in a positive direction, people will want to follow. So I first work on myself. The people that work with me, we work on ourselves first. We aspire ourselves to work towards a health goal and get ourselves well. Hopefully that will inspire others to follow us, and continuing to keep ourselves and those we're taking care of motivated towards health. So AIM for Health. I've been networking for, a really long time. And what was your question about networking? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
You asked me like four questions at once.
Yeah, that was probably a little too many to throw. So What has been your experience, like, just going into it, like the first time you were out networking, just, like your experience behind it?
My experience, well, networking is a really fun thing to do. It helps build relationships, helps you meet a lot of amazing people, because entrepreneurs are people who are trying to better themselves and improve themselves. And so they're all aspiring and inspiring and motivating too, right? So
Yeah.
we're all moving forward. And you learn so much from one another. It was also a really great way for me to learn how to be a business owner. Networking is definitely a premise to what I do. You network with people, and you get to know people, and they refer you to other people. So being in the networking world as a business owner, I think, is very crucial for you to build that skill set, even within your own company and within your own customer base, to be able to learn to network with people. So yeah, that's what my big thing. I think the biggest thing I've learned in the nutrition industry is when you are networking with people, you are going to be exposed to all of the other businesses and products that are in your industry, and you
Of
have to
course.
figure out a way what's so special about you. And I think that helps a business owner also get themselves to a point where they have a really good definition of what they do and why they do it and who they are, so that they can go in turn reach out to others and help them. So I think those are the two big pluses to networking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's absolutely correct, because there's a lot of learning and growing in that area, which is really, really interesting. I've still got a lot to go myself, and I mean, heck, we all do at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. Learn every day.
Yep, absolutely. So, tell us, also too, like, like, since you're a mom, of one, right?
Yep. I got
Okay,
one
yeah,
kid.
mom of
Yeah.
one. Obviously, you got a husband. Uh, so what's it been like, family wise, as well as, making sure that you're staying on top of their health as well too? Like, would you say that a husband probably says, "Oh, come on"?
Well, the biggest thing I've learned, not just for myself, but as I've been doing this for over 16 years, is the mom is the gatekeeper of the home. So, and kids have a desire to be able to make choices. But if there's all good choices in the home, then they're free to make choices, and it will be a positive experience for themselves, their health, their wellness, and everything. So I try to encourage moms, because moms, I think, feel that they are at the mercy of the likes and dislikes of their family. But we actually have the power to frame and get our family members shifted over. So yeah, men are hard. Husbands are hard. Or if maybe you are a husband who's more on the healthy lifestyle and your wife is not on board. But in the end, again, you inspire, motivate yourself, and people will follow. And so what I find is mom, take care of yourself. It's almost like the airplane thing. If the oxygen masks come down, right, you need to take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the ones that you love. And so I think a lot of moms always put themselves last, and then their health deteriorates, and then they can't be the parent or the spouse that they really want to be because they don't feel good. And just empowering these women to know that they are the gatekeeper of the home. So one of my most favorite things to do is try and teach parents how to shop, because for every product that's out there that your family likes, there is a healthier option. And so I'm not a food Nazi by any means, but if the person that's got the purse, the person that's got the money, they're the ones that are in control of the food that's in the house. So that's the first thing I try and teach. After that, it's easy, because all of the good options are in the home. Kids want autonomy. They want to be able to make choices. And so have choices that are healthy for them, but are satisfying and taste good. And the earlier in a child's life that we can get that fruits and vegetables in their diet, their taste buds will be affected accordingly. And it's completely changeable at any given moment. It's called metabolic programming. And so whatever you love to eat, that's what you crave. So it works on both ends of the spectrum. So if you eat a lot of sugar, salt, and fat, then your body's going to want more, right? Sugar, salt, and fat.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if we start filling our bodies with nutritional things and get more fruits and vegetables in our bodies, it is amazing. I watch every single year when I have a family that uses the tools I have for a year consistently, they literally start craving more fruits and vegetables, and they change the way they eat because their bodies are getting the nutrition it needs and it wants more. And so it's really, really cool. So those are my tips. And it takes some time, but trust me, every parent says, that's not a battle worth fighting. This one is, because
Agreed,
our
yeah.
our child, even a baby's health, will not only affect them throughout their life, but it affects the health that they bring on to the next generation as well. So if we can nip the bad habits in the bud now, it will affect your family generationally. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. And one of the key things I want to hit on is that you said tastes good, because there's probably people out there besides myself was kind of raised like, oh my gosh, the most healthy stuff is not going to be the best, but it'll be good for you. But I was not aware that there was like some stuff. I mean, like besides fruits and besides some vegetables that'll actually taste good, and you can potentially make it taste good without adding too much of the bad stuff. Like, am I right?
Well, you can, but like I said, I'm not a food Nazi. I would watch if a mom if the house has been a house of virtually no real food. And when they start implementing that, if they need to throw some cheese on it for a while to get the kids to start eating it, I say go for it. I don't want you to keep doing that all the time, because, excessive amounts of cheese is not good for anybody. But if that's what it takes to get started, then go for it. Because getting the nutrition from those fruits and vegetables far outweighs the, dressing it with something a little bit fun for a little while. So yeah, I get fruit and vegetable nutrition is so crucial, and it's so life-saving that whatever we need to do to make it happen is what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also another thing you said, like, getting it started early, because when you're passing that on to generations, so that way their bodies be able to fight, allergy seasons, what's going on now, and pretty much almost anything in that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you nail it now, so that way they can progress and grow stronger, versus just, oh yeah, you start out eating the bad foods. I actually know someone who's doing that currently. They've eaten nothing but bad foods, and the health is just failing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like that for years, and it's also caused high blood pressure within myself, thanks to constantly putting salt on almost everything. So yeah, I do agree with you on that one. Start early and pass it on to the next.
But you can change it any given moment.
Yeah, you're right.
And you're young. I mean, yeah. So all of those things are completely reversible. So at any moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so I also wanted to ask too, because I'm sure you've seen changes, the clients that you take on and then they feel better. Like, what does that do for you? Like, how does that make you feel like, they've gotten stronger and they're able to do things that they couldn't do before?
Everybody's different. And so sometimes when I start taking care of someone, they have their own health concerns. And so we start getting their nutrition better. And it's really interesting because some of the concerns might not be nutritionally related. But it's really fun to see what happens when somebody's fuel improves. And if they stay consistent for over long term, it just gets better and better and better and better. So the compounding effect of being consistent with something over time is super cool. And of course it makes me feel great.
Yeah.
And so, and it makes me say amen. I know what I'm doing, and what I try and promote to people is it works. And so, and then whatever issues or concerns wasn't a nutritional issue, probably one of the other 5 lifestyle things that we deal with and try and work on can also be a part of that as well. And so all of my certifications in nutrition can help me kind of pinpoint some things. And so it's a project, and getting well and using nutrition is not a get quick result thing. It is a overtime thing. So yeah, it is really, really rewarding. I love helping people experience getting well, and it's usually a hindsight thing. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. And please keep up the good work you do, because we need more people out there that's just like
Thank you. Yeah.
So,
thanks.
last question I want to ask too is that where does somebody go to find you, follow you, perhaps maybe even reach out to you?
So I am on Facebook, Angela Meyer, and so you can find me there. Right now my hair is kind of crazy because I'm on a boat. But my phone number is 314-775-8105. My email is Angela M for FOR, Angela M for health @gmail.com. So yeah, those are all. I do have a work number, but that's for me to send out to people, but to reach me, just use my cell phone.
Got it. Yeah. And that's very interesting. That's good to know. And thanks for being on Visiblepreneur. I can't wait to see your journey and where this is going to come out for you. There's good things that's going to happen for you. For sure.
I do want to say something though. I want to thank you because Sound Frequency benefited the Alzheimer's Association benefit concert this summer. Yeah. So Isaiah was a big part of getting us $4,000 to the Alzheimer's Association. So I thank you for your sponsorship of that. So
no problem. I was glad I was able to help out with that. And your daughter can sing, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
That's just something that no one else knows. So.
Yeah. And she is a testament to what I do, because the whole reason I got into nutrition was her. She had a suppressed immune system when she was 18 months old. She got diagnosed with that and was on inhalers and nebulizers. And it took a year or two for her to completely start getting better, but now I've got an opera singer on my hands. So, nutrition can affect everything in your life. So, and help you pursue your dreams. So, that's why but thank you so much for sponsoring that event.
You're welcome anytime. And of course, for those that's out there, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then also for the audio only versions, we're on Anchor, which goes out to Breaker, Apple, Google Podcasts, Cast, or probably just Cast. I don't know. And then, we also, I mentioned Pocket Cast. I can't even remember the rest. I always did say one day I'll get it. It's like 8 platforms total. And of course, thank you to our Canada listeners for listening to this. So really appreciate that. So with that being said, everyone take care. And then of course, as you know, we'll see you on the next one.